Coming at you with a quick Grumpig fight strategy. It's not so much a strategy as more of a collection of general tips and tricks. First thing to note is that Grumpig is a special attacker and it carries Earth Power, so it will absolutely just ruin your Metagross's day. So I would leave it in the box. Yeah, so it is a special attacker. Psychic Monotype carries Psyshock, so that covers it for special defensive walls that you might want to use. Something like Chansey's just get lit up by 3 Psyshocks in a row. So its moveset is Earth Power, Energy Ball, Shadow Ball, Psyshock. Pretty good coverage, though Dark types do particularly well against it defensively. I wouldn't really pay too much attention to our team here. I started the recording late, and our team isn't all that optimal. We're just sort of figuring it out as we went. All the mechanics, we had no idea what were going to happen ahead of time. First mechanic of note is it automatically sets screens for itself. So I would recommend something like Brick Break. Defog can be used, but you want to keep screens up on your side. So I would say definitely bring something like Brick Break to break screens on the other side rather than take screens out. We took out our own screens to start, and it definitely set us off on the wrong foot. So I wouldn't recommend that in particular. Some Pokemon that do particularly well are bulky Dark types. Hydreigon does super well. Wouldn't really recommend any sort of setup sweeper of any kind. You'll see why in a second here. Nasty Plot can be useful on the Hydreigon side of things to start. Hydreigon's just generally very good, especially if you're running something like a Roost defog set. Tailwind on it is also super good. We had this Hydreigon you see on the right here was running Tailwind for us. That came in handy for most of the fight. My Reuniclus, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that pick either. I have the Kofagrigus that also fainted. I was kind of throwing most of this fight. Dark types generally are the carry. This Honchkrow ends up being a massive carry for us. It ends up on the side of a Grumpig, so it's not taking that much direct damage. And I guess because it can't be Psyshocked, I forget what Ghost does into Dark. It's immune to the Psychic. It would only just get T-waved. So it should be a Glass Cannon, but it isn't, and we'll just be able to Sucker Punch freely. Grumpig has 4 attacks, so it'll always use an attack. It uses 3 of them a turn, so Sucker Punch will always land. So definitely would recommend something like a Honchkrow that could get a lot of damage off, especially if it's not getting targeted. I forget what we were trying to decide here. Not quite sure, but I think right around now is when we lost the stat changes, which is the next big mechanic. So any kind of setup sweeper becomes useless around the midway point of the fight. It will automatically wipe all of your stats. I think I decided to swap out here into my own Hydreigon. Probably would have had it out sooner. Screen setters are super important. You definitely want to keep screens up on your side at this point of the fight because you have no stat boosting on your end. So keeping light screen up is great. Chansey setting light screen, Prankster, Sableye setting screens, wherever you can get screens on, be really good. Couple tips on Pokemon. If you got a Tyranitar lying around from Halloween, you can throw Salt Vest on it and Assurance will do a big chunk of damage, or Crunch. Think you can usually get away with Assurance though. Due to its speed, if you are running Tailwind, an important note, especially around this point, is Trick Room. Grumpig will use Trick Room, so if you have something with Trick Room, Spiritomb is probably a really good Pokemon for this fight. I haven't really thought about it all that much, but it does carry Trick Room. It's Dark type. It can probably do some decent damage. It might have access to Calm Mind. If you've got one of those, could be a really good build for this. Other ones, yeah, like if you've got the Honchkrow in your box, if you've got any other kind of Dark type Skuntank from Red, all those really good. Calm Minder is really good for the first half, not so good for the second. If you have something that can cancel Trick Room that carries it, like Spiritomb, that would be great. Other than that, yeah, Dark types do well, and good luck out there.